Hi, I'm Lisa, a practicing liminal witch and tarot reader with over 28 years experience in helping people find guidance through the cards. On this channel I talk about all sorts of witchy, spooky and mystical things that interest me and I hope will interest you too. Welcome to Beyond Authentic Witchcraft. Yes, indeed. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome to Beyond Authentic Witchcraft. My name is Lisa. I am here to do some tarot reading tonight. I might be using a brand new deck. I've just been showing the members over at our members exclusive pre-live stream. You can join that by clicking over to here, buymeacoffee.com/Beyond Authentic, where you can in fact come over there, buy me a coffee if you want. You can QJump over there, so if you want to get yourself a tarot reading guaranteed tonight, you can do that over there. That's also where you can sign up for our monthly memberships, where you get videos at least a day early. You get to hang out with us for an hour with the members and the mods, and you also get yourself things like you can get yourself free readings, you can get yourself all sorts of bits, including discounts on any of the readings you might want to book with me, but you can also get some free downloads. And as I go through this year, I will be uploading a lot more stuff that you can get yourself downloaded. So if you'd like to be part of our wonderful community, you can come and join us over there. Right then, let's bung the flag up, because it is still Pride season. Even though I haven't got Pride makeup on today, we've just gone for green, but it is still Pride season. So good evening to everybody that is here. There's lots of you on today already starting out, so that is grand. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you to the mods. Now don't forget, everybody, if anybody with a spanner next to their name and their name in blue, if they ever ask you a question, they are one of our moderators on this channel. I could not do this without the help of the moderators. The moderators are the ones who are literally, they are the stars of this show. They are the ones that keep everything running so that I can be here reading the cards. So without the mods, this would not be possible. So please show them some respect, show them some love. And if you're watching this on the replay crew, let's have a green heart, because it matches my makeup. Let's have a green heart for the mods, because they are a wonderful community, and green is all about community and earthiness. So let's do that. Good evening, Wolf Boyo. Good evening. Hello, my darling. Hello, we've missed you. We were worried about you last week. Hi, everyone. Lots going on. Have big news too. You have a house viewing in Yorkshire. Yay. Hurrah. After your birthday, which is a week on Wednesday. Oh, that's lovely. Look at the green hearts. Yay, look at the green hearts. Thank you. That's wonderful. So yes, right. Few rules on the channel. As you can see on the ticker tape running at the bottom of the screen, tarot is for entertainment purposes only. You do make all of your own decisions about your own life. Tarot should never be used to replace medical advice, legal advice, financial advice, or counseling advice. If you are looking for support in those areas, please, 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 please seek out a professional in those areas. I have skills in certain areas. I have training and qualifications in certain areas, but I am not a professional. So do please seek out professional help. As I always say on this channel, it's the mundane before the magical. So if you break your arm, go to hospital, get it put back in plaster, get it fixed, don't have the bones jutting out. Do that before you reach for the herbs and the poultice and the, you know, magical oils and all of that. Maybe get it fixed first. If you're waiting for a reading, you can go ahead and put your readings into the chat when we open the round. So how we do it now on this channel is we do each round. So I will say to you, if you would like, I'll go open a round. When I say that, there will be a little video playing. It will either be a heart video or one that says how to get a reading. That gives you about 20 to 45 seconds to get your questions in on the chat. Now, we will give you a good minute, because the way that YouTube works, sometimes there are delays of it going out. So we give you a bit of time, put your question in, and then I will grab one of those questions at random. And then once I'm doing that person's reading, I don't look at the chat screen. So I can't see if you're commenting. I can't see if you're doing anything. I can't see whatever's happening, because I come off the chat, because I've got ADD and the chat makes me go, oh, what's that about that squirrel you can see out your window? Oh, that's it. Oh, we had a squirrel over here. I haven't seen a red squirrel. And all of a sudden I'm on a tangent talking about that time that I saw a red squirrel in the park and it was a mate. You know what I mean? So that's why I don't do that. But when that reading is finished, we will open up another reading, and then you need to put your question into the chat again, because I'm on StreamYard, which is a different streaming software, so it makes things easier for me. It means I can play the videos and things, but what that does mean is that I can't go back fully in the chat. So if you do end up popping a question in and you don't get picked for that round, copy and paste your question, or copy and save your question and then paste it again when the round opens up the next time. Okay, I've got various decks on the table with me today. We've got the vice versa deck. You'll know this deck is quite intense. It goes very subconscious, so we might get into some details with this one. We've got the Light Seers deck, which is becoming one of my favorite decks of all time. It's a very modern deck, very very helpful, very guidance, very intuitive, very in touch with the universe. So that's a wonderful deck, very manifesting type deck. And then I've just been showing the members and the mods. We've got the Fifth Spirit Tarot now, which is an amazing deck. It's possibly the most inclusive deck I've ever seen. Different body shapes, different races, different peoples, different genders, different everything, different abilities. There is everything in this deck, and for me this is rapidly becoming one of the things I strive for in my tarot decks, is to have that inclusivity, so that wherever you are in the world, whatever your situation is, you feel included on this stream. I've just noticed we've just lost some viewers, so if you are not woke, or if you are particularly bigoted, I should say, then please do what the others have done. As soon as we start talking about inclusivity, if you don't like it, go and watch somebody else's channel. We are a safe space for everybody here. I don't care where you are in the world. I don't care how you identify. I don't care anything about that. If you are here, it's a safe space and you are welcome here, my darling. Ask your questions when you want to ask your questions. If you are asking about a same-sex couple, if you're asking about whatever it is that you are asking about, feel free to get answers here. That is a safe space. There is no judgment here. With all of that being said, let's open up the list. So then, if you would like a reading, go ahead and put your question, starting with the word question. I've just changed the ticker tape look. I know, right? It's almost like I know what I'm doing. I wouldn't go that far, but if you if you would like a reading, then please do go ahead and pop your question into the live chat right now, and we will go ahead and do that for you. I will go ahead and choose one of them to do that for you. So go ahead and pop your questions in now. Likewise, if the mods would like any questions answering, again, feel free today. It looks like we're going to have a quieter stream than usual for some reason. And this is how you get your reading. Yes, indeed. Also, if you are new here, first of all, if you are new here, what can we put in the chat to say that you're new? Have we got a tick? Is there a tick emoji, or like a thumb? Not a thumbs up. Let's just have a smiley face. If you're new here, if this is your first stream, bring a smiley face in the chat separate to your question, because you might not know certain things about me, because I was in this. Oh my God, it was I was cancelled. It was absolutely shocking what happened to me earlier this year. Do you want to catch up? This is what happened.
YouTube tarot reader Lisa Lee has been found using bad language during her twice-weekly live streams. In a shocking turn of events, it has also been discovered that she will not tell you what you want to hear, only what you need to know. The internet is in collective shock that authenticity is alive and well in this corner of the YouTube meta space. Do not watch if you are easily offended.
Yes, indeed. You had Captain Kirk there and everything, telling you that occasionally I might use bad language. I'm trying not to. I'm trying to be more YouTube friendly, because, you know, we've got We've all got to please the all-seeing algorithm gods, because that is just the way it is today. Bear with me 1 second. I'm just adjusting my stool. That sounds wrong, but you know what I mean, my footstool. So yeah, right then. Let me move my coffee. Put that over there. There we go. This is the new Costa Cups for Pride 2023. I've got them for the last couple of years because, you know, I am slightly addicted to coffee. Right then, let's have a look. Tammy Moody. That's the first one I've just seen when I clicked on the comments. A general reading. Okie dokie. I can do that for you, my darling. By the way, Tammy, hi. I didn't say hello to you when you came in. Hello, Tammy, my darling. Hang on, let me just take this banner off. There we go. Hi, Tammy. I hope you are well, my darling. I guess we'll find out, won't we? Ed. Yeah, those not chosen. Hang on again. We'll do a reading, and then you get another chance in about 10 minutes time or so. So just hold on in there, my darlings. Right then, let's hit on. There we go. Tammy's question. I'm going to star it so that if I lose the screen, because sometimes the screen jumps. If I lose it, I can come back to it. Right then, let's take the comments off. There is a fly in here. It might actually be a moth. There's a little moth that I keep. I don't want to crush the moths. I don't mind crushing flies, but I don't want to crush a moth. I know they eat your clothes and things, but they're just they fly around and they're pretty. I know I am biased. I'm saying, you know, they fly around and they're pretty to a moth, but not to a fly. I know, right? Right. I'm going to, Tammy, if you're okay with it, my darling, I'm going to read from this brand new deck. It's called the fifth element. No, it's not. The Fifth Spirit Tarot, and it's a new one that I bought. So I'm still getting the nuances. So if there's anything I'm unsure of, I will flip to another deck and clarify. Okay, my darling. Hopefully that's okay for you. Let's move my coffee cup out the way. Oh, hang on. Not that I'm addicted to coffee, you understand. Right. Let's have a little look. So then, dragons. Is that in the right position tonight? Oh yes, look at that. Just about. Is that even? That looks even on my screen. There we go. Dragons. Good evening, dragons. We've got the lovely Tammy Moody from the Americas, all the way over here from the United States. Oh, I was about to do an accent. I do apologize. I should learn never to do accents because I can't do them, even though I think I can. I can't do accents, and it always sounds like somebody taking the mic. Right, so we're not doing accents, but dragons, Tammy Moody would like a general reading, please. Look how well this shuffles. Oh, it's so smooth. Sorry, Wispy, we'll have one card, please, not two. We're not doing that. We're doing one card drops, Wispy. Because it's a matte finish. It's such a pleasure to shuffle this. Right then, let's have a look. Dragons! Wispy, I know you're excited, my friend. Yes, it is a new deck, but the rules are the same. We have to do the thing as the thing. So if you want a card to flip, it's one card, Wispy. Not two, not 7, not 28. Just one card to flip, if that's what you want. Right, a general reading for Tammy. This is the last. Oh, it was one. I thought that was multiples. Right. So I flipped it that way. So you've got the 6 of Cups reversed as your clarifying card. And this, it's just such an interesting card. So this, even if it wasn't this way up, Tammy, even though yours is reversed, it would still be a bit of a wibbly card, because this card, it's not the usual 6 of Cups where it's all about, yay, celebrations. This is a little bit different, and it feels quite different, to be honest. So this, for me, this way up as a clarifying card is talking about there being a lot of emotions in play at the moment, and not everything feeling positive around you, not everything feeling overly like nice and that things are going your way. It feels a little bit more like there's a little bit of, maybe a little bit of, not heartache, but a little bit of maybe a longing I'm getting from this card. I don't know why, but as soon as we get a card that flips, we stop shuffling and we do your drop. Now, obviously, if you were here in person, I'd get you to cut the cards for me, but you're not, so I have to do your drop. It's going to go again. It's going to go again. Oh, is that one going? No, it's not. Right. Okay, so then let's have a look, Tammy, my darling. Page of Cups, the Eight of Swords, oh, and the Magician. Right. So a general reading. So let's have a look for Tammy. We've got past, present, and future. So the past, Page of Cups. There's been, I'll flip it this way up. Look how gorgeous this deck is. Look, so you've got the cups are actually balloons, because the page is that youthful energy, but it's reversed. So there's been a few issues recently with, if it feels like a very young energy that's coming in. Now, this could be an aspect of you, Tammy, or this could be external energy, but it's been difficult to deal with. It almost feels like there's been a certain amount of immaturity recently around like where your heart's being pulled. Now, whether this is your own immaturity because you're fighting growing up, because you know what I mean, it's like I'm 47 years of age now, but I'm definitely not a grown-up. I'm definitely not an adult. I'm old, but I'm not an adult. And it feels like if this is you, then it's like there's been a bit recently where you've been like, I'm not ready for this. I can't process this. I'm not old enough for this, sort of. I'm not mature enough. If it's something that has come from an external, then somebody around you is very much acting like a child, even though they're not. And this is the key thing. This is not a card. I don't think this is depicting like an actual child in your life. Like it might be one of your children, for instance, but they will be fully grown up, but they're acting immature. That's what this is telling me. And possibly something around not getting what they want. Like, has somebody thrown a tantrum? Because there's like, it feels like these two cards are absolutely linked. Oh gosh, excuse me. It feels like they are. How can I put it? Right, let me, hang on a second. I don't want, sorry, I've got see, this is what happens. I've just had a thing come up. Remind me later. I will do that later. It wants me to upgrade to Windows 11 and I don't want to do it, and it keeps coming up and telling me, and I keep saying remind me later, and it comes up the next bloody day. It's so annoying. Anyway, it feels like these two cards are absolutely linked, right? So whatever this 6 is showing you, this kind of almost like not the end of your tether, but it feels like, God, you know what? I've had enough of this. I've had enough of this shit. It's like, do you know what? You're exhausting my energy. That's what this feels like. And it feels like you're still happy to support this person or to support whatever's going on. It's like you're still putting your heart and soul into it, but it's like, oh God. And it's becoming quite a challenge at the moment because we've got the 8 coming up in your present. Now, as I was just going through this with the members, and bear in mind, this is almost a first, it's not a first glance, but almost a first use. I did flip these earlier, but it's literally like the pretty much the first time I'm doing it for a proper reading. Now, my instinct with this card is absolutely, you've got a lot happening at the moment, right? There are a lot of challenges. So for me, Swords is all about challenges, obstacles. So there's a lot going on, but instantly this ribbon almost feels like it's the ribbon of your essence, the ribbon of your life, the ribbon of your existence, if you like. And it feels like, although there's a lot of challenges around you and there's a lot of stuff that you have to process and have to deal with, that this card particularly is bringing up. So it's bringing not just emotional issues for you to deal with, but it's also bringing up, you know, other issues as well, perhaps on a more than emotionally challenging. It's like, it feels like there's physical things that you're having to deal with, you know, housing things, life things. There's a lot going on, but with all of these here, it's like they're all in play but not an active issue. But it feels like you've got one overriding active issue that you need to process right now, and it's to do with this page energy, and it's definitely to do with this Six of Cups. So whatever this emotional element is, it's like this needs resolving, because this is going to grow into a much bigger problem if you don't resolve it, because it's tying all of these two in with this emotional charge and this emotional kind of, how can I put it, it's like whatever's happening on the physical realm, it's being made 10 times harder, because there's this emotional, very strong emotional connection at the same time. But it's going to get better, right? So this is in the present. So this is around a week before, a week after the week that we're in now. So it's kind of like the way I always do my time scales, by the way, just in case anybody is actually wondering, it's like the full moon, right? So we've got the full moon. The day before the full moon is classed as the full moon. And the day after the full moon is classed as the full moon for me, because that traditional witchy in me knows that people long ago would not have been able to tell exactly which day the full moon landed on, because it looks like it lasts for 3 days. It doesn't change visibly in the sky. And this is that same sort of thing, right? When it comes to time, it's like this is 2 weeks ago, this is last week, this week and next week, this is that period onwards, if that makes sense. So we've got the Magician. So this issue needs to be tackled using all of your skills, my darling, everything. You need to literally lotions and potions and everything, bring everything together to actually find this solution. And it is going to take everything. Like, we're not just talking like an emotional reaction and an emotional resolution. This is going to take a physical resolution as well, my darling. So there's whatever this issue is, whatever this issue becomes, I think it's already made itself known to you, and you're going to have to dig down, and you are the one that's going to have to change this situation. You are the one that's going to have to completely take control, take your get your witchy ass into gear, and actually, even though you don't want to step in, it's like you have to step in. And I think this is what this heavy heart is. It's like you don't want to step in, but it feels like you kind of have to get this resolution. Hopefully that helps, my darling. Let me switch cameras back, and then let's look at your comments, because I can see the comments have gone. We've got 7 comments on there. All right. Okay. So okay. So can you take that, Tammy, my darling? Does that help? Hopefully it helps. It feels like there's a big decision that you need to make, and to step in, that doesn't feel like it's it doesn't feel like it's, how can I put it? It doesn't feel like it's your first choice. It feels like you kind of have to. Do you know what I mean? It's like the granny weatherwax thing. You step in when you absolutely have to. And this is one of those situations where you absolutely have to, my darling. But you've got the skills to turn this around. That Magician card is positive. It's upright. It's all singing, all dancing. You've completely got this, whatever that is. I hope that it hits, my darling. I hope that you can take it. And thank you very much for the question. Right, so if we've got some newbies here today, thank you very much for joining. So Belinda, hello my darling, welcome. Peacock Rainbow Queen is back. Good evening, Peacock Rainbow Queen. Kayanat Bakari, thank you very much for being here. Who else have we got that I saw come in? I think that's who we've got. Oh yeah, it is Patricia. It really is. I'm really loving it now. I wasn't sure, but I am absolutely loving it. You saw a group of Americans try a British accent and thinking it was hilarious. No, I know. Unfortunately, you wait till I'm around Scottish people. There was a few things going on. Absolutely. You wait till I'm around Scots people. Oh my God, I get this weird kind of version of Rabsy Nesbitt meets Billy Connolly meets, I don't know what. It's horrible. And my voice just goes there. It's like I don't even try and do it. It just goes there. Anyway, you don't need to know about that. So how does this work on this channel? If you would like a reading, you have to pop your question in when we call for it and when the ticker tape runs, and put your question into the live chat. If you would like to guarantee your reading, you can go across to buymeacoffee.com/Beyond Authentic. It's up here. That gets you a QJump, which means your reading would be next. And it also means that you get a 7-card reading instead of a 3-card reading. So if you would like to take advantage of that, go and check that out just over there. Also, don't forget, if you would like to put your name into the hat, so to speak, to get a question, all you need to do is put your question into the live chat, starting with the word question, and then I will grab one of them at random. Now, you do need to put it in every time we open the list, every time we open a round, because I cannot scroll back and the mods can't scroll back and see those questions once we've done a reading. Also, people quite often will go off and watch something else, or they'll, put a question in and then go and ask another tarot reader on another live stream the same question, and they'll jump between different streams. And we've been calling people and there's been no answer. So if you would like a reading, you do have to do it every time we open a round, which we're about to do right now. So if you would like a tarot reading, go ahead and put your questions in now. Hi, I'm Lisa, a practicing liminal witch and tarot reader with over 28 years experience in helping people find guidance through the cards. On this channel I talk about all sorts of witchy, spooky and mystical things that interest me and I hope will interest you too. Welcome to Beyond Authentic Witchcraft. Indeed, let's have a look at the chat then. Right, I've got lots of things up. Oh, Tammy, I'll get to your question, to your response in just a second. Instantly, I am going to Belinda Jane Harris. I'm not even sure. Did I say hello to you? I'm not even sure I've seen you in the chat. Hello, Belinda Jane Harris. Sorry if you came in and I didn't say. I try and say hello to everybody in the chat. I don't know whether I did or not. But yeah, Belinda, you will be up next, my darling. Let me just pop and see what Tammy just said about her reading. Right, let me star yours so I don't lose it. Here we go. A few things going on. A shift in a very close friendship because I spoke up about her partner and how I see and feel red flags about those relationships. We spoke about it halfway through March. So that could be, I mean, March is a long time ago. There's a lot happening then. If that's still going on, then there's been something's happened in a childish way recently from them. And that's what that heartache is. That's what that heartache will be, my darling. Absolutely. And the 8 of Swords, that again, that tallies with that. Oh, I'm so sorry you're going through that. Sometimes friendships are really hard. I don't understand friendships. I don't understand why anybody would want to be my friend. I really don't. And yet I seem to have friends and people in my life that I care deeply about. So for me, it's very, very strange. But I am very, very fortunate to have the people in my life that I have. But yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, my darling, that this transition into your magician period, you need to use all your tools, my darling, including the witchcraft. You know what I mean by that. Right, Belinda, on to you, my darling. When will the rift be healed? Let me just take a quick sip of my coffee. Hang on, I'll put you on mute so you don't get... For those of you with misophonia, so you don't get slurping noises, because I cannot stand slurping noises, and we try and make it as comfortable for everybody on this stream. I think I might just stick with this deck. Do you know what? In all honesty, when I got this, I was on the WhatsApp group with the mods, and I was like, I love the deck, I love the majors, but I'm not sure about the minors. I absolutely love it now. It's instantly talking to me. I must be in a different headspace. It's probably because I'm in this room in my reading space with the circle set up and everything. It's like, let's go. Right then, dragons, let me swap cameras. It's like a 4-step process, unfortunately, because of the way that I have to use StreamYard. It's a 4-step progress. Eventually when we get up to £50 worth a month of members, then I'll be able to upgrade this to get the professional version of StreamYard, which means it's a lot simpler to use and gives us a lot more tools. But at the moment, there's no way I can afford that. I'm already paying something like $28 a month, $25 a month, something like that. Something like that. Right, there we go. That was annoying me that it was so far off center. It's still off center, but let me just hang on. I know it doesn't matter to anybody else. Nobody else was bothered by it except for me, and it's really been bothering me. There we go. It's not centered on my table, but it's centered on the camera. So that's good. Right then, dragons, what we would like to know. Dragons, what we want to know is, we want to know whether the rift that Belinda Jane Harris is founding themselves in, whether this rift will be healed. That's what we want to know, dragons. Will the rift that Belinda Jane Harris is in, will that rift be healed? We've had the strength card jump and turn, so that is your clarifying card. Look how beautiful this card is. I'll talk about that in a second. By the way, if you don't know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about my dragons, they are elemental energies that are probably, did we agree? I think we agreed they were servitors. I think that's the word. There's a whole podcast. In fact, if you go to my channel and have a look on the videos, there's a podcast called The Truth About My Dragons that me and Neil filmed, and we released it last week, the week before, and I'm sure that Neil or one of the other mods can pop a link to that into the chat. I can't see the chat right now, but yeah, that's what my dragons are. So go and watch that. Actually, it's a good episode. It really is. Anyway, Belinda, let's do your cut. So we're gonna cut the cards for you. Here we go. It's going again. It's going again. It's fanning. Can you see? Look at that. It wants to properly fan. Is it going to go from the middle there as well? No, I thought it was going to see that split. I thought it was going to go there. Interesting the way the cards cut. Sometimes they're absolutely sure, and sometimes they fan, so they're not so sure. Oh, my darling. Right. We've got 3 reverse cards, and the strength card is your clarifying card. Right, let's go to talk about it, Belinda. So the strength card, this is all about finding your inner strength. Now that doesn't mean like pumping a load of steroids and going to the gym and becoming a big warrior and like fighting with swords and things. It doesn't mean that. It's not that sort of strength. It can talk about physical strength, but this is largely emotional strength and largely kind of intestinal fortitude, I think they call it. It's that inner backbone, that inner strength, that inner defiance, that flame, that little spark of, do you know what? I'm not going to put up with this, but also keeping that compassionate element. Because you can see this person, the dog is perhaps injured. They've taken the dog out for a walk, and now the dog needs some cuddles. And we all need cuddles in life, don't we? But you've got here, look, love and trust. We've got symbols and sigils here going on, and we're in a garden. So this person is absolutely in touch with their strength, that inner core. They are strong, even though they don't need to physically be out there, you know, wielding a sword. So this is talking about that inner strength, and I think you're going to need it, to be honest. So in the recent past, we've got the 4 of Swords. Now, we couldn't quite tell when we were talking about this with the mods whether this was a tick, an alien, some kind of sea, like shell life. We don't know. We don't know quite what it is. But for me, the 4 of Swords normally talks about stability, but this is reversed. So Swords is all about your trouble and strife, obstacles and challenges. And this being reversed, is there's a lot of instability that's been happening recently. So whatever this rift is, it feels like it's born out of people not knowing where they're going, and people not knowing, like not having that sense of continuance. Do you know what I mean? Like stability, continuance, that fact that you know where you're going to be tomorrow, you know what you're doing next week, you know what's happening in 3 months. There isn't that around this, and that feels really, really bleak. It also, like, there's a snake that's eating something, so we've got a certain amount of, like, it's good for the snake, but it's not so good for the mouse that's been eaten. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of elements here going on, and it feels very much like this has happened at a time when there's a lot of other stress happening in your life, Belinda. So it's not just this rift. It's like there's been a lot of stuff going on, and it's this rift is kind of like, it's not the straw to break the camel's back, because your strength is there, but it's like for other people it would have been enough to break the camel's back, because we go from the 4 of Swords reversed to the 10 of Swords reversed, and this is where you are now. Now you can see, look, we've got the death of this bird. This bird has been struck with all these pins. It's almost like somebody, you know when they talk about like serial killers that kill animals and things, and it feels very much like that. It feels very much like this is not a nice card, and this is what's going. I'm not saying that anybody around you is a serial killer. Let's just make that abundantly clear. But it's like there's a lot, whatever the challenges are, it's like you're really going through it right now. It's like this rift has got worse and worse and worse, and you cannot see a way to get through it right now. And it feels like you just need this strength. You just need to remember that you've got this inner strength, and you need to hold on to this above anything else, my darling, because whatever this rift is, I think it's going to reach its end point, its fruition, but that's not quite yet. But there is hope in this card, because look at the egg. There is life in the egg. And the egg is separate to the bird. So even though the bird has been stabbed many times and is lost, there is still an egg out there. The bird's mate can sit on it. There is still a chance for a turnaround and for something good to come out of this rift. And then we go to the future. So again, this would be, I would say this is the energy that's coming in the next couple of weeks, and it will ride until the end of July. I would say this takes you through to maybe the 3rd week in July, not quite to the end of the month. I don't know why I'm getting that time scale, but this is the Ace of Pentacles. Now this is a really good card, but it's not something that you want to do. And basically what it's talking about is planting new seeds for new growth, and it's not what you want to do. You want to heal this rift. You want to somehow find a way of making this better again. And what this card is saying is that might not be possible, my darling. It may well be that in the next couple of weeks, you have to kind of have that strength to say, do you know what? Your issue is not my issue. And do you know what? I'm done. And to have that strength to then go and start planting for your own future, planting the seeds for your own future. Pentacles can mean work, career, money. So if there's a money aspect to it, bear that in mind. But it very much is talking about, for me, this is about the effort, the material things, you being able to move on with your life separate to these sword cards. Okay, my darling. So I don't think the rift is going to be healed, but I think you will find a way to separate yourself and not to start over, but you'll find a way to move out of the eye of the storm. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. But you don't want to. You want everything to go back to the way it was and be like the Waltons and everything's nice and lovely and everybody's friends. But I don't think that's going to happen, my darling. I think you're going to need to venture off. But hopefully that helps. Let me have a look at the live chat. Right, let me swap cameras again. There we go. Right, so on the live chat, Belinda, there you go, my darling. So yeah, hopefully you can take that, my darling. I've just had a look on the chat, and you've not posted, but hopefully that helps. And yeah, that is your reading for today. Thank you ever so much for joining us. Don't forget, if you would like to take part in the members only live feed, you can come and join us here to be a member. We do it 6 o'clock UK time on a Sunday evening. We do an hour where tonight I was just showing you through, flipping through this deck, talking about the state of this room that you can't see behind the camera, and all sorts of other bits and pieces. So we talk about all sorts. Sometimes we'll do readings. I did a reading for myself. That's what I did this week. I haven't done a reading for myself on camera in 3 years, maybe 3 years. So yes, so that we did today. So yeah, right, let's have a look at the chat, what the chat is saying. There's a, okay, so that's fine. There's a private chat going in private conversation going on in the chat. Well, it's not a private conversation, but it looks like Tammy and Patricia are talking about the issues that Tammy's reading brought up. Hang on, my darling. Your son hit rock bottom and expected you as his mum to solve everything, right? That'll be the four. That'll be the 4 of swords where there was stability and then it wasn't. ADHD struggles. Is that you or him or me? It's me as well. You love him, but you're so sad. You did everything you could. Thank you so much. That's not a problem, my darling. Don't beat yourself up. Listen, don't beat yourself up. You are not responsible for anyone else's life. As we say on the tarot streams, you make your own decisions about your own life. Your son made his own decisions about his own life, right? And he absolutely, as an adult, I'm assuming he's an adult, has to live by those consequences, because we all do. Yes, like, right, I'm going to do something now. I will show you just to the right. Do I do this? Yeah, I will do, because it will show, it will prove a point. Well, not prove a point, but it will show you. Right. I'm going to move the camera and I will show you off to one side what this room looks like, right? So are you ready? Look at this mess. Right, that's the rat cage that I need to sort out. This is the pile of stuff that has fallen and has been propped up. It's like my ADHD means it's very hard for me to deal with practical issues, right? Very hard for me to deal with practical issues. So things pile up, figuratively and literally. All of this happened because the shelves that I've got here fell down. But they fell down maybe in January. And it's now June. And it's taken me this long to be able to get the impetus to start tackling them. And there's 2 reasons why I started tackling them. One is because Neil is coming to stay at Neil, who's in the chat, one of our mods, one of my oldest, bestest friends, my brother. He's coming to the chat. No, he's not. He's coming to the flat next month because I'm doing a live tarot event, and he's coming to support me, basically. And so we're going to film in this room, and I can't do that when it's like this. And the second reason is that the shelves collapsed again. Now, because of that, it means there's now no choice. I have to fix it. And that is when I can now do things, is when I have to, when there's a deadline and when things are happening. So for me, yeah, I'm ADHD too. We're waiting for the diagnosis at the moment. But for me, that's what happens. And then because I've got the live and I was like, I need to sort this out, but I need to do the live. It was like, right, I said to Rufus, just help me get the room, help me get the backdrop behind the camera, or in front of the camera sorted, so that the rest of it can kind of just sit there. So that's what we did this afternoon. So yeah, it's very, very, very difficult with ADHD, but I am responsible for this. This is my mess. This is my job to sort this out. Rufus is helping, but it's my mess. So if anything breaks because it's falling off a shelf, that's my fault. I can't blame anybody else. If something happens because if I get injured because something falls off this shelf that's still propped up, being held up by the freezer that Magic the Crow is sat on top of, if this one falls, it's my fault. I take responsibility, and as an adult, your son has to as well. But I hope that helps, my darling. It's really difficult. I absolutely feel that Ace of Pentacles, like, you can give him as much support as he needs, but also you have to live your own life and have to do things that's right for you. And I know you don't want to, but you have to. And it's like, if that rift isn't healed very, very quickly, then you need to just kind of go, okay, you are an adult. You might not understand things the same way that you understand things, but you know what I mean. Leave the door open is what I'll say. Always leave the door open. You don't slam the door on somebody, because you never know what might happen and you will genuinely regret it. And for me, I've got family members that I've had to completely cut out my life. The door is ajar. Actually, it's a lie. The door is closed, but it's not locked. I used to leave it for a long time. The door was open, then it was ajar. Now it's closed, but it's not locked. I haven't yet locked it, if that makes sense. But yeah, you're welcome here anytime, my darling. We are live every Sunday, Tuesday and Sunday. For a second there, this is how my brain works. For a second there, I forgot what days were. I know. That's good, isn't it? So yeah, Tuesdays and Sundays, you're welcome here anytime, my darling. 7 p.m. UK time. So come and hang out with us. And yeah, come and just chill with us. You don't have to have a reading every week. In fact, we advise not to have a reading every week. But yeah, right then, I hope that helps, my darling. And do feel, hopefully you'll feel at home here with us. We are a very neurodivergent group. We're just as inclusive as the world is. That's what we like to say. Right then, my darling, we're going to move on now, if that's okay with you, my sweet, and we're going to move to another reading. If you would like a reading, go ahead, do the things, put your question into the live chat, starting with the word question. Then we'll be able to find it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, when I'm talking about dragons, when I do the readings, there is a whole podcast where we talk about egregores, servitors, thought forms, tulpas, and where the dragons fit in on that. So if you would like to know more, go and check that out. But if you want a reading, if you haven't done it yet, do this. Oops. Right. Okay. I took some prawns out of the freezer yesterday. Did I put them in the fridge to defrost? No. Did I put them back in the freezer? No. Did I leave them on the side? Yeah. So they're no good now. I was just saying about my ADHD brain. Oh, my shit. Never mind. Never mind. I thought I put them in the fridge. Bugger. Right. There you are. That just shows you, Belinda. That just shows you. Oh, my God. I swear down I remember putting them in the fridge. That is bad. Oh, I like prawns as well. God damn it. Anyway, right. Who have we got? Ma. M-A. Ma. Your question is up. Oh, that's really annoyed me. I wanted some prawns. Oh, well, as I say, it's my problem. It's my issue. I'm the one that did it. I have to take responsibility. I'll go and tell Rufus in a bit that we ain't got prawns for tomorrow now. I have to buy some. I will buy some and replace them. You see, because my brain. Anyway, right, Ma, let's have a look. Your question. Have Have I made the decision to end our love connection? Oh, my darling. Oh, right. Okay. Okay, my darling. I don't know whether you can see. Right. I'll tell you what, you can see. It feels like we're doing a lot of emotional questions tonight. And I'm wondering if we're pulling in the emotional questions because look at my speakers. My speakers are on red. Normally we're on multicolored, but today, for some reason, they've settled on red. So, interesting. And we're getting, I know it's me looking for signs and synchronicity, probably where it doesn't exist in the universe. Come on, we just had this really nicely set up, didn't we? It was a really lovely position. And why can't I get that again now? It was more over there. Was it that? Is that it? There we go. Right then, Ma, let's have a look at your question. Dragons. Ma would like to know, has R made the decision to end their love connection? Oh gosh, we've had a card absolutely full. So that's a very determined card. The Three of Pentacles. Right. Okay. This is your clarifying card then, Ma. For me, threes are about moving on from a couple, moving on as in bringing, like, connecting friends, blending families, all of that. But this is reversed. So we will get to that. Pentacles is normally career, work, and finances. But with this deck, it's, hang on, let me just raise this up a little bit. There we go. With this deck, it's also very much connected with the amount of work and energy. And this whole deck feels quite intuitive to me. So it feels, all of it feels very internal, if that makes sense. I don't know whether that makes sense, but it does. It feels that way to me. So it's supposedly about career, work, and finances, but it's also the amount of effort that you have to put into a task sometimes. Let's drop the, let's do your drop. This is a deck that really likes to have staggered drops. Really, so far, every single one. Okay, the 6 again. Right, so has R made the decision to end our love connection? So we've got where you are now, what you need to know, and your opportunity, with the Three of Pence as your clarifying card. So the Knight of Wands. Oh dear. So wands are strength, courage, confidence, how you identify yourself, your inner identity, if you like. For me, this is talking about how, you know, how things are. Now, because you're asking about R, we're getting that Knight energy for R. Now, Knights are the sort of people who act first, think later. They don't think about the repercussions, like quite happily going on a skateboard. Maybe not the best idea to be on a skateboard with a flaming torch, you know what I mean? Especially when you've got long hair. There's only going to be a moment where that flame and that hair combine. Do you know what I mean? So it's about that acting first, thinking later. And although this is saying this is where you are, it's actually where R is right now. And so I think, I don't know about the decision to end a relationship, but it very, very much feels like they're acting foolhardily and kind of going off like a teenager, like somebody that's like, oh, I'm going to play the game. So it really does feel like they're being a bit of a player, to be honest with you. It really does. Now, in the present, we've got the Six of Cups. Sorry, not in the present, in the what you need to know. We've got the Six of Cups reversed. Now, Cups for me is normally all about your emotions. So it's about love, friendship, all of those bonds. But this is reversed. And this, even when it's the right way up, look, it doesn't feel like the happiest of happy cards. This feels like there's a lot of humdrum about this connection. And it feels almost like it's got stale. It's got old. Like we've got rubbish here. There's a bucket and spade in the sandpit. But then we've got a dirty plaster. There's a half-drunk bottle of pop. We've got somebody's manky old tooth in a cup with the money there for the tooth fairy, but the tooth's still there. jar of flies with a fly outside the jar. You know what I mean? The plant pot's cracked. This is not a happy card. This is a card that's like, things have got difficult. Things have got very samey, and kind of, I would say that there is a certain amount of boredom almost that's creeped in. So it does feel like this love connection isn't flourishing right now, put it that way, especially when we keep an eye on this Three of Pence. So the Three of Pence is about, again, career work, but effort, the amount of work that needs to be put in, using the tools, using all of the stuff to get, you know, to produce something. But this is now this way around, so nothing is being produced anymore. So it feels like it feels like R is already out of the equation in some way. Does that make sense, my darling? I hope it makes sense. I know it's probably not what you want to hear. And then the opportunity, we've got the Four of Cups, my love. This is not a positive opportunity. I'll show you it this way up. You can see there are cups, but pretty much empty. You know, there is a little bit of liquid left in this, but the flower has died off. And then the other cup is actually the bottle that's already in the ocean. So you can see just by looking at it, even this way up, yes, the fours talk about stability, but this is reversed, and it says there's a lot of instability. The opportunity card is instability. So that's saying to me that it feels like if there was going to be a time where this love connection would end and would peter out, this is kind of where you are, my darling. So in answer to your question, it honestly feels like maybe there is that choice, maybe that has happened, maybe R has kind of got to the point with the relationship that they can no longer kind of maintain that energy connection with yourself, my darling. That's honestly what it feels like. It feels like, but it's not your fault. This has nothing to do with anything you've done. It feels like this is where they are, and they are just, whether they are actually like a young teenager type energy, or whether they're having like a second, you know, what is it called, a midlife crisis, so they're having like a second teenage years. It feels very much like this isn't your doing, this is them that has decided that, you know, well, we're just gonna skateboard down a hill and never mind the people in the shopping arcade, we're just gonna, you know, go and throw some shapes and grind on the rails, do the grinding. Yeah, you can tell I can't remember anything from Tony Hawk skateboarding from back in the day. But yeah, that, my darling, I'm sorry to say, that is your reading, Ma. So I know it's not what you probably want to hear, but again, I can only pass on what the cards are giving to me. And this deck is probably, like, I am connecting with it stronger and harder and faster than I've connected with any deck in a long time, including the Light Seers. This is really hitting home. So I'm sorry, my darling. It absolutely feels like there is at least for now, it feels like R is at best going through the motions, and at worst kind of maybe stringing you along. So I wish you nothing but the very best, my darling. I really do. I hope that whatever happens in the next few weeks, that you're able to kind of bounce back yourself. This is very much on them, and I get the vibe, the fact you're asking that question, I get the vibe that you already sense that there's like a separation, and you're now two people walking maybe not even in the same direction on separate paths. You know what I mean? It's like sometimes in life we meet people, they're going on the same path, and we have a conversation, and then one of them goes off. Sometimes that person comes onto our path and we have a joint path together, and sometimes, even though they can have been on that path together, sometimes there comes a point where their paths fork again. And that's just the way that life is, my darling. But I wish you nothing but the very best. And I hope that reading gives you some answers. And very, very best to you, my darling. Come and see us in the weeks to come. Come and make sure you pop in and say hi. Even if you don't want a reading, just come and say hi. And it does feel like that. Do you know what? The dragons are giving me this idea of skateboarding. Do you know what? It's in, because I've been watching a thing on this is how the dragons do it, right? Because I've been watching a thing on YouTube about Baywatch, where somebody's rewatching and giving you like comedy synopsis of all the old Baywatch ones, right? What I got is this idea. As soon as that skateboard card came up, it was the idea of two of you skating down the beach, like not on the sand, but like on the strip thing at the back, and then one of them, like one person then going off and doing their own thing, and then kind of it being just you left there. And that instantly, it gave me this Baywatch, because that's the way the dragons work. They give me images that are recent, and it was just this idea of this, like you were skating along quite fine for a while, and then they want to go off and go to the skate park, and you're just like, no, I'm done. But anyway, hopefully that helps, my love. Right, so it's time. Let's grab another reading. So if you would like, hang on, I'm on the wrong screen. Good Lord. Is it this one? Yes, it is. There we go. To request a reading, start your question with the word question and pop it into the live chat. I will then pick one of them at random. If you've already put a question in, please go ahead, put it in again so that I can see it. And I'm going to give you a few seconds. So while I do that, I'm going to tell you about like two amazing businesses, right? The first one is my friend Holland, who is on the channel as one of our mods. They run an Etsy channel called Blue Chalice. They do an Etsy shop, called Blue Chalice. Lots of really cool witchy stuff. So if you like witchy stuff, if you want to get some good luck charms, some bells for cleansing your door, all of that stuff, because you know I use my bell for cleansing. If you want witch bells for cleansing your doorway to help cleanse the space when you walk in and out your house, this is my recommendation. Like, seriously love this company, and I love the people behind it. So if you want to check it out, this is where you need to go. Look for Blue Chalice on Etsy. Lots of really good stuff. If you're into witchy stuff and you want a witch's kit, they even do witchy kits with the full range of everything you need to get going if you want. Really, like, I love it. Really good, ethical business. Totally recommend. Also, you would have seen the wonderful my opposite number on the podcast. Neil is in the chat as well. Necro Neil has just finished. I'm so excited. Episode 50. I haven't got any to hand because they're all in the other room because I saved them from falling. Has just finished, not episode 50, issue 50 of the Necronomicon zine. So if you like horror movies, especially from like the mid 80s, the 70s, like the ones you look back on now and laugh at the special effects, if you like those, check this out, because I love this scene.
Are you a fan of 80s horror but want something different? Do you like modern horror but the regular magazines leave you a bit cold? Are you a fan of that schlocky horror that no one else seems to talk about? Check out Necronomicon, the UK horror zine from Etsy.com. Just search for Necro Neil.
Absolutely. I freaking love it. And he's just finished episode 50. It's just about to go and get scanned and printed and all of that. And episode 51 is on the planning table. So yay. Right then, my darling. Let's James Herbert and Stephen King. There's Stephen King films we look at. Or he looks at. So we've done things like Pet Sematary. That was reviewed, and Pet Sematary 2, all sorts of stuff. So go and check that out if you like it. Just look for Necro Neil on Etsy and Blue Chalice on Etsy. Totally recommend. And you know I wouldn't steer you wrong. From my heart, from as authentic as I can be, go and check those channels out, those businesses out. Absolutely love both of them and the people behind them. Right. So, oh, Kylie Guzman, you are a new subscriber. Good evening. Good evening, Kylie. We're in the middle of doing some readings. So, oh, Clive Barker, yep. Hellraiser films are covered. And also Candyman, was that a Hell? I think that was a Clive Barker thing. Hold on just a sec, Kylie, because we've just done a round. So the questions that came in on the round, I've got Peacock Rainbow Queen, your question is up next. So once I've done this reading, Kylie, how it works is I'll open up the list again, or the round. And once I've done this one, pop your question in then. So just copy and save it for now. And when you get the message that the round is opened up, just pop it into the chat again, starting with the word question like rainbow, peacock rainbow. Keep wanting to call you Rainbow Peacock. I think it's because in my head, it's like, have you seen it's probably photoshopped, the Rainbow Peacock, where it's like, it's rainbow colors. So yes, so we'll do that in just a second. But Rainbow Peacock, no. Peacock Rainbow, you are up. So then, dragons. We're cleansing the space by ringing the bell, and we're asking the dragons to come in. So dragons, particularly our friend Wispy, if you still don't know what I'm talking about when I say dragons, then absolutely go and check out the podcast episode. Basically, it's the elemental energies I use that help guide the cards, I guess. Servitors, egregores, tulpas, all of that. Right then, let's have a look. So what we want to know is, what message do the guides have for Peacock? So I tell you what, we're going to do a different 3 card today. We'll do, right, dragons, what do we do? What do we fancy today? We want to do where you are, what your biggest challenge is right now, and tips to overcome that challenge. How about that, Peacock? How about that? So where you are right now, what the challenge is, and the tips. That's what we're going to do. Advice to get through it. So then, dragons, what the challenge is, where Peacock is right now, what the challenge is, and tips to get through the challenge. And Wispy, I know this is a new deck, and I know you like it, but like, no is the answer. No, Wispy, we're not doing that. Thank you very much. Let's see if I can do a riffle shuffle with this deck. I might actually be able to. No. Still can't do that properly because of my poorly hands. But anyway, there we go. Right then, let's have a look. Yay! Yay! And the crowd goes wild. Yay! Yay! Right, I'll get back to that in a second, Neil. Oops, I've lost the other question now. I've lost the other question. Nope, come on, brain. There we go. Right then, dragons, what message do you have for Peacock Rainbow Queen? We'll do the cuts. Oh, a bit more determined then. Look, that card was definitely determined to fall. So where you are now. Oh, there we go. What your biggest obstacle is, and the tips for overcoming. Ooh, we've got 2 majors. So where you are now, Judgment. So is this you judging yourself, my darling, or are you being judged? So the Judgment card for me is all about, historically, the card talks about like it being the end of days and you being judged from on high. So it's talking about, you know, the weights and balances of everything, getting to the point where, you know, the scales of your life are up and down, and the scales of your life have been, you know, where you're being judged, literally. Your soul is being called up to its higher purpose to basically relay everything you've learned on Earth. So I think there's a lot of judgment happening. Now, this could be that you're judging yourself really harshly, or it could be that you're judging others. It's a bit difficult to say, But there's definitely this element of judgment. I think you're judging yourself too harshly, because this is where you are. So it feels like you are being really hard on yourself, being your own worst enemy, kind of being your own bully, all of that. That's what it feels like. Now, the obstacle card that came up is the Sun. Now, that's very interesting. Now, the way that the card came out, when it was put down, it would be this way up, because I tend to go, I think that's the way it would have been. But because it came up on the side, it's like it's neither the light nor the positive nor the negative, the upright nor the reversed, right? So the Sun is your obstacle. Now, the Sun talks for me about growth. It's about experiencing life to its fullest. Interesting that you can't do that if you're judging yourself. So the biggest obstacle that you're facing at the moment is living life. And for me, it goes beyond. It's living life authentically, being your true, authentic self, and whatever that means, because the Sun is a card that is all about growth. Everything on earth relies on the Sun energy. We cannot survive without the Sun's light and the Sun's heat and the warmth. So everything about this is a continuation, if you like. And what this card is literally saying is like, look, these two people are enjoying their time in the Sun. They are enjoying that time together. They are soaking in the Sun's energy, soaking in the rays. Be careful, because, you know, scarring. We've got a fur baby here, a dog. We've got what could be children in the background, families in the background. There's a tire swing. So it's a really nice day in the park, having a lovely, relaxed time. But this is coming up as an obstacle. It's a major card, the same as this one. So this is really important, Peacock, that you're listening to this, because it's saying that, look, you are really, really being your own worst enemy. Your judgment right now is stopping you enjoying life to the fullest, being your true, authentic, wonderful human being self, and living that life, absorbing that light energy and radiating it back out into the universe. And for some reason at the moment, this is your challenge. This is your obstacle. So what this may be telling me is that there's something here. I know you come on the stream quite often and you're always welcome, my darling, but maybe has the universe been sending you signs that maybe you've got some intuitive elements here? Have you got some witchy elements, some psychic elements going on? Is there something for you that you need to look at and maybe open up and open yourself up to this loving growth energy? Is there something that you are holding judgment over? Is there something that you are, you know, being particularly judgmental on? And then the tips to get through to this, we've got the Six of Pentacles reversed. Oh, this is good. This is good shit. Right, so look at the card upright. This is a donation box. Give away the things you don't need. Get rid of the clutter in your life. Get rid of, oh my God, this is speaking to me. Get rid of the clutter in your life. Get rid of the stuff that you don't need, that is taking up your energy. So whether it's like a tin of beans, I'm not quite sure what, I'm not sure what any of this actually is. That almost looks like a tampon, but it's not. Jars, tins, things, mittens, whatever it is. Have a good clear out, right? So the fact that this is up this way up, your tip to enjoy life is to declutter your life. And it's something you're not going to want to do because it's come up reversed. So there's certain areas in your life that you absolutely need to clear out. And it's whatever this judgment is relating to. So whether you're judging yourself really harshly, like I have a history of doing with myself about my ADHD and how I spend 50 quid on a hobby and then don't ever do anything with it, and then in 2 months time I throw that stuff away or whatever. I charity shop it or car boot sale it, but that's what this is talking about. So it could well be, my darling, that whatever this is that you're judging yourself on, that's stopping you living your authentic life, you need to get rid. You need to have a sort through, have a declutter, whether that's a mental or a physical, and let it go, let it go. I'm not singing Elsa, but yeah, there you are, my darling. Hopefully that helps. That's a really good tip. That is a really good tip. And I know it's not going to be easy. I know decluttering for a lot of people. Some people love it. They do it every 6 months. I hate it. Everything I've ever bought, I have some sort of ridiculous connection to, which I don't need to have anymore. So I struggle with that. So if you're there with me, my darling, then I know how difficult it is to have a declutter. But that's what you need to do to be able to enjoy your life to the fullest, get that radiant growth of loving sun energy in, absorb that powerful energy, and then run with it. So yeah, hopefully, my darling, that makes sense. So thank you very much for your question, and I hope that reading helps. Don't forget, my darling, if you would like to become a member, you can do so over here for just £5 a month. To get the membership perks. I think that works out about $6 a month. So if you would like to do that, come and hang out with us on a live stream. That would be amazing. Right. Thank you very much for your question, and thanks for being here. By the way, let's have a bit of a like spike. I don't know how many we've got in the how many likes we've got on the stream so far, but if you haven't already, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. It really helps YouTube send the algorithm out. YouTube seems to be not ignoring me, but it seems to be not as helpful at the moment as it has been in the past. So yeah, having thumbs ups and comments and likes and all of that really does help me out, especially because YouTube has just changed the way that it allows people into the monetization scheme, which means very soon, maybe by the end of this year, I'll be able to do super chat and super thanks. So we'll be able to, if people want to QJump, you'll be able to do it within YouTube's algorithm, within YouTube's platform, rather than going over here to buy me a coffee. But yeah, if you would like to, you can always, anybody watching this on the replay, anybody watching this on the live, you can always go across and find out more about what I'm doing here. We've got a website now. Oh yeah, beyondauthentic.co.uk. I built it myself off a template, but I built it myself. It's got bits on there, what I'm doing, where I am in real life, where I'm doing readings and things. So if you want to find out more information, you can. Right then, thanks everybody. Let's have a look. Ready for some more. Oh, you think it means decluttering your mind? Absolutely. Yeah, I reckon. I think it probably does, to be honest with you, seeing how the other two cards came up. But yeah, absolutely, my darling. And that will bring you in that sunshine. Bring me sunshine. Da-na-na. That is now stuck in my head, and I don't know the words. Anyway, right, let's move on. If you would like a question, go ahead and put your question into the live chat, starting with the word question, and I will grab one of them at random. How do you do it? What do you need to do? We've got a video that tells you all about it.
YouTube tarot reader Lisa Lee has been found using bad language during her twice-weekly live streams. In a shocking turn of events, it has also been discovered that she will not tell you what you want to hear, only what you need to know. The internet is in collective shock that authenticity is alive and well in this corner of the YouTube meta space. Do not watch if you are easily offended.
We have a super strong connection here. Right. Oh my God! Okay, let's have a look at the live. Oh, Rufus, I took these out of the freezer yesterday and forgot. So they probably need to go in the bin, but all right. Sorry. I'll buy you some more. Bless. Kylie, you're up. Kylie, you are up. How does... Oh, what does that say? How... I can't... Do you know what? I need my glasses. Where's my glasses? Here they are. It's that point in the stream, everyone, where my eyes are going, you can't see. Pop your glasses on. How does Tio feel about me? He's a Taurus and you're a Pisces. I don't know what that means. Although... Right. I tell you what. Right. we'll hold on this question. Listen, while I've got some mods on and while I've got some viewers on, I want to ask a question. Kylie will come straight back to you, my darling. Right. The question is, how would you all feel if I did the monthly tarot readings for the star signs, right? So I did, this is a reading for Gemini, this is a reading for Virgo, this is a reading for Capricorn, Aquarius, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Leo, Taurus, Gemini, Aries, no. And any of the other ones I've forgotten. Right. So I don't need to know, to be able to do that reading, I don't need to know what the signs are or know anything about astrology, because the dragons and the interaction with the Akashic records will do that for me, right? So I will just pull the cards, do the reading, film it, and do them and release them at the beginning of every month. Now, it would be basically like one of these live streams, and so it wouldn't be on a live, but it will be filmed in the same manner with the card cam. So a little bit of an introduction and straight into the card cam, probably with very minimal editing, because it's going to be a lot of work. So is that something that you think, even though I don't know about astrology, that I will be able to do on my channel? Let me know in the comments, because for me, edging into that zodiac area when I'm not an expert by any way, shape or form, and can't even tell you what all 12 signs are, it feels like it's a little bit inauthentic for me to do that. But also, I really want to do pre-recorded monthly readings for groups, and of course that's a nice way of separating them out. Let me know your thoughts. If you're on the live now, let me know your thoughts in the comments. I can see Ed and hang on, let me just start that question. There we go. I can see Ed's comments and Kylie's comments. You see now, Patricia, that's really interesting. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, the cusps. So this is where it gets complicated, because I don't know enough to know to do the cusps. I would have to do X, Y, Z. So it would be a standard for the 12 signs. And then I don't know how you do cusps. That would maybe make it, for each sign, it would need 3 readings, possibly. I don't know how you do that on a monthly basis. Yeah, no, I get what I mean. I get what I mean. I get what the cusp is, but what I mean is, like, if you're Taurus to Gemini, that's one cusp, but then also Gemini to whatever comes after is another cusp. So for Gemini, I would have to do cusp with Taurus and cusp with the next one, and it means every sign then needs 2 videos, which is 24 videos every month. I don't think I can do that. 12 is pushing it. I don't think I can do 24. And equally, when we get to sun signs and moon signs and all the rest of it, I don't know anything about that, so I don't know. Anyway, if I didn't do cusps, what would I like? Is that still possible? Let me know in the chat. Anyway, right. Kylie, let's do your question. So, how does Tio feel about you? He's a Taurus and you're a Pisces, right? The dragons know about this stuff more than I do. So, dragons, we've got an astrology-based tarot question for you. So, Kylie would like to know. Come on, there we go. Kylie would like to know, how does Tio feel about me? Kylie is a Pisces and Tio is a Taurus. So that's what we want to know, dragons. Oh, I'm loving this deck. Is so easy to shuffle. It's a joy to shuffle. Oh, it's like, it's not a powder coating deck, but it almost feels like, do you remember when they used to do linen decks? I don't know if they still do. Like, I used to have some linen decks that were wonderful to shuffle. This is the same thing. But anyway, right, dragons? Wispy, 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 wispy. Yes, I know, right, Wispy, get off my neck. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Wispy. Justice. Oh, Is there something legal going on? Is there something? Let's have a look. So this is your clarifying card, Kylie. We've got justice. Now, this is a really good justice. Look, it's the House of Law. We've got the air sign. We've got the scales of justice with a feather lying between a feather and a heart. Okay. We've got this justice is not blind. So this justice is all seeing. Look, sorry, I just realized I'm not holding it up to the camera right. There you are, look. And we've got the sword. But this is not the classical sword. This is a etheric sword. Because look, I don't know whether you can see. Can you see? It's the outline of a sword in the same way it's the outline of the feather and the heart. They're not in the physical realm. Love it. But this is reversed. So we'll get onto that in a second. How does Tio feel about you? I think there is an element here that needs to be resolved. So whether there is a legal matter that needs sorting out, there's definitely something happening, because that is a significant clarifying card. It's a major arcana card. Oh, we're going all the way down there this time. This deck, just yes, it is talking to me. Right, so what does Teal feel about you? So this is where you are, this is what you need to know, and this is your opportunity. Ooh, right, okie dokie. So we've got the where you are now, or where Tio is now. The King of Wands feels quite confident about things. He does. He feels quite confident. I mean, it could be like Taurus energy. I do know about Taurus and Geminis because I'm a Gemini and Rufus is a Taurus. So sometimes, yeah, a bit bullish, which is interesting, isn't it? Because look, we've got the red flag. Going at it like a bull in a china shop with the red flag look. So there's definitely something here. I think I don't know whether he's I don't know whether he is a bit arrogant at times, because the justice is saying, look, there is a significant issue that is possibly legal, possibly to do with an injustice that's being done, because it's reversed. So for me, that's talking about maybe there's an injustice in your relationship. Now the King of Wands instantly comes up and he's like a very confident person, a very somebody that's very sure of themselves. But the Taurus element and the red flag, that's interesting, because I asked the dragons very, very, very specifically for Taurus, and we get this. So that's telling me that there is an arrogance, or there is a bullishness. I know, right? Let's read into all the Taurus bull that I can, but there is a bullishness about this person and this personality, almost to the point where it feels like if this king doesn't get his way, then they'll throw a strop, or they'll, I don't know if you understand sending someone to Coventry. What's another name for it? Ghosting. Yeah, ghosting. It used to be called sending someone to Coventry in the UK. I don't know why. But there's a thing about like ghosting, because it's almost like the king wants to know you, and the king wants you to be like on his round table until he decides not, and then it's like nope. And there is this bull to a red flag element with this king. There's nothing in the background on this. Like a lot of the other cards have got some sort of depiction, but this feels very much like the king is alone. And so again, why am I getting dragons? Take off this arrogance thing, because it's not helping. But I'm getting this sensation. Hang on, I need to put my, sorry, real world issue. I need to put my croc back on, because I've just put my foot on something sharp, and that's not a good idea when the room is like this. So there is something here about this element of arrogance that I'm getting, right? And it's saying that if this king doesn't get what he wants, then oops, then it feels like he properly kicks off. I don't think it's physical, because I don't get the element of brutality with this, just arrogance. Where you or where Tio is, what you need to know. So we've got the star. Now this is almost, I mean, look, this is me when I lose a bit of weight. I'm not even joking. When I lose a bit of weight, I'm going to do this. This is a really interesting card this way round. I mean, it came up reversed. So you've got this element, like the star is pulling the elements, the water element that deals with emotion, intuition, all of that. I love the fact this is a plus size card, right? So it feels like whatever this is that the king is doing or the king has done, it feels like this injustice is what he's doing. He's not treating you fairly, particularly because what you need to know, for me, the star comes up and this is going to probably not sound very helpful, Kylie, but you'll see what I'm saying. It's time to stop wishful thinking, my darling. It's time to stop wishful thinking. It's like the star for me is that I'm wishing on a star. It's that energy. You know what I mean? It's like happy ever after Disneyfied. And I don't think that that's happening with this relationship. It feels very much like, I mean, interesting. You said Pisces. I believe that's the sign for this card. Is it? Patricia will probably be saying you in the chat that absolutely this is all to do with Pisces. I think it is. I don't remember. But very much the water element is here. Now, the star for me is about that. Throw a penny in the fountain, make a wish. It's all about that. Wishes can sometimes be goals, and they can sometimes be things that you work towards. But this is saying, no, look, what you need to know, this is not something you can work toward. Whatever this is, whatever the king is feeling and whatever's happened, this injustice is there overall. And it's like, this is not fair. This is absolutely not fair to you, my darling. But it's what Tio feels, right? And I honestly don't think it's fair to you. I think he's being a bit of a dick, to be brutally honest, in the way this, I mean, this just feels so smug, so toxic masculinity, like really getting it. I mean, this person doesn't even, in this deck, doesn't even have a gender, agenda, what's it called? Agenda, not identity, agenda. Oh, there's a word, my brain's just don't have it, like doesn't have a gender. We'll put it that way. Gender presentation, Jesus, a particularly strong gender presentation in any way. But carrying this flaming torch with this red flag, adding in the Taurus energy, no, don't think they're going to change their mind. This is really not good for you. What you need to know in the opportunity card, we've got the 9 of Pentacles reversed. So even though you don't want to do it, it's time to, you know, look, have a feast, have a meal, treat yourself, invite others, have this element of if you need to work through something, work through it. This is like, so for me, the 9s are at the almost at the peak of the energy. Pentacles is money normally, but in this deck it's really screaming effort and workload, and this is really career as well, but this is really talking about, look, put your energy somewhere else, because this does not feel the way that it's going, right? So this opportunity is for you to be able to move on and get rid of some of this energy that's been holding you back, to get rid of it. It's talking about harvest it, cut it out at the roots, cut it from the vine, like literally do all of the things. Have you been saving for something? Okay, dragons, right, Wispy, we're not going. Okay, apparently we are going. Right, have you been saving for something? Is there like a big event that you've been saving money for, like an anniversary, a birthday, like even putting money aside for a wedding or something? Because this really does feel like it's like if he's this is no, there's something that you've been putting aside for a rainy day, right? Well, it's raining, my darling. Whatever this is, whether it's money you've put aside, whether it's I think it is. I think there's either a rainy day fund or this is a birthday fund or this is a something fund. Like, it's time to move on in that direction and maybe watch. So this can be taken two ways, right? If you've got a fund that you were wanting to spend on the king here, then sod it, put it into your own stocks and shares, put it into your own bank, put it into your own enjoyment, reverse that from its purpose, like put it to saving something that you want rather than something that you were doing for Tio. If there's something where you haven't been saving for the long-term future, maybe because of Tio's influence, then now's the time to do it. So if there is something big that you're wanting, like if you want to buy a car or you want to go on a big major holiday and that hasn't been allowed because of this, then maybe this is that opportunity, because it's really talking about, look, give yourself the feast, right? The reversal here is one of two things. It's either saying that you haven't been feasting because of Tio's influence and you've been saving up for, like, as I say, a brand new car or a lovely dream holiday to wherever, or you've been feasting too much with Tio in play, and only you're going to know that, right? So if you're in that point where you're like, oh, we need to put some money away this week, I've put, I don't know, $100 into the savings account, and then Tio's like, oh, but I really fancied a pizza and a takeaway, and oh, it's only going to be $45, and then actually with delivery, and well, it's only $60, and then that only leaves $40, so maybe we should just like spend $100 and worry about it next week. It's like there's something that either you need to spend more on yourself and not worry about this plan if Tio was part of your long-term plan, or sack it off and start making long-term financial plans because you've been feasting and spending too much in the wrong way. If that makes sense, my darling, if that makes sense. Yeah. Overall, I think this justice card is kind of telling you everything you need to know. Like, he's not treating you fairly. He's not treating you well. Whatever's happened, I don't know whether you're still together. I don't know whether, like, there's just been some argument and you're actually still together. It feels like you're not. It feels like he's probably done a runner, to be honest. And I hope, like, whatever happens, my darling, just know that you don't deserve this. This is an injustice. That's literally, it's an injustice. Okay, so whatever has happened, however, if it's ended, then however it ended, it doesn't feel like it was on your terms. That's an injustice. If it is still ongoing, then just be bloody mindful, darling, that look, that he's not treating you the way you deserve to be treated. Yeah, it is wishful thinking. Like, you've got all of this energy going on, all of this, like, dream in you're not, right, hang on, I was about to say dream and intuition. You've had a feeling that this wasn't right. You've had a feeling this wasn't right. That's the other thing this card's given me. You've had a feeling that either the way he was treating you or something about this wasn't singing true. So I don't know whether he's done a dirty on you, got another family, got another partner, anything like that. But there's definitely something where you had an inkling that something wasn't fully right. Trust your heart, my darling. Trust your instincts. And with that, I'm going to say thank you ever so much for your question. And we wish you the very, very, very best. Right, let's have a look on the live comments. There we go. And swap the camera background to that one. There we go. Hang on, click off that screen. You cut him off because you ignored you and you didn't want to be treated like that. Absolutely. Absolutely. But it's the reason why he ignored you. Oh, hang on. You've put other chats in. Was it? Hang on, Patricia. Hang on. Patricia noticed something I didn't notice. The star figure is pouring into a cracked jug. Oh, yeah, so it is. Oh, okay. That's a crack. I thought that was overflowing because I haven't got my glasses on. Where is it? There, look. I thought it was overflowing, but actually, you're right. I think it is a crack. No, it is overflowing. It is just full. It's already full. Look, I get what you mean. I entirely get what you mean. But if I swap it, look, can you see? It's got a symbol. What looks like a crack. It's got the air symbol on it. Oh, and that's got the water symbol on it. So yeah, it's actually not cracked. It is actually just a symbol on the side. But I absolutely get what you mean from that one, my darling. You're manifesting a new person and trying to buy a house. Oh, what did I say? Where was the other card gone? Is that it? The 9 of Pence. That's that thing then. So stop spending on anybody else, including yourself. Put those savings together for a bigger purpose. Wow, I thought it was a car. I actually thought it was a holiday, to be fair. My brain was going, it was a bit like a game show. You know, where they do that end star prize. And it's like, you've won. You could win a house, a car, not a house. You could win a car, the brand new model Ford, whatever, or a holiday for 2 in the Bahamas. Yay. That's kind of what I was getting. But absolutely, if you've been trying to buy a house, then that's what that 9 is. Like, leave his energy far behind you and crack on with your own plans. Is that everything? Oh no. Oh, hang on. He ignored you and you unfollowed him. Okay. You sent him a cuss word and then sent him an apology. But if he ignored you, then, I mean, I'm not being wrong, but I ain't being funny, but quite often if somebody ignores me for a long period of time, I would give them a cuss word as well. So yeah, that will be where the that will be where the arrogance is coming from. Oh, I love this deck. Oh, I do love this deck. Absolutely. Message me before you do. But yeah, absolutely. Wow. Okay. That was really cool. It's not really cool that he's being a git, but move. I tell you what, hang on, Kylie, don't go anywhere. Right, dragons. What I want to do, right? We want to pull. What do we want to pull? Hang on, let me cleanse it again. Wispy, you need to connect for me. What I'm wanting to know is, for Kylie's trying to manifest a house. So we want some tips for Kylie, right? I'm going to do 3 more cards. Don't normally do this. I'm going to do 3 more cards. Thanks, Ed. And what I want to do, right? What I want to do, dragons, is I want to get some advice for Kylie specifically on moving forward and manifesting the house, manifesting a new partner and the house. That's what I want tips on, right? So very specifically, Wispy, that's what we want, right? How does that happen? And we'll go 3 cards. We'll go with the first one being the partner. The second one we'll go with, no, the first one we'll go with cleansing this out. So getting rid of this energy. The second one, new partner. Third one, new home. Okay, that's what we're going to do, Wispy. Have you got that? Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles just flipped. Right. I'm doing a second reading on this. I never do this. I don't know why I'm drawn to do this, but Kylie, hang on in there. You're getting a second reading from the dragons. Right. So Ace of Pentacles as your clarifying card. New projects, new money, sow the seeds for the future. Sorry, you can't see that there, can you? Sow the seeds for the future. That's what this card is saying. Literally, plant the bulbs that are going to grow and you're going to get the benefit from in the weeks and months and years to come. So that is what it's saying. You need to plant those seeds, plant those bulbs, and that's kind of your advice for you to do now. So start small, start working. Hang on, there we go. Start working now for those goals. So don't just try and manifest it. Literally put some money into a savings account and watch it grow. Even if it's only $5, £5, start that process. Right then, because we've had a card flip, let's do your cut. Come on, Wispy. Oh, it's fanning. It's a fanning deck. I like it. It's a fanning deck. Right. Oh! How to clear the energy. And we've got the King of Wands again. So this is your energy. This is you need to... Wowzer. You need to clear. I said to clear the energy, you need to get rid of him. You need to get rid of him. Absolutely. Get rid of him. Get rid. Be gone. Get thee behind me, arsehole. Yeah, get rid of the king. Absolutely. Cleanse that energy out of your life. Right. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. Thank you, Wispy. This is why I needed to do this. Wow. Do you know, after 28 years, the cards still bloody surprised me. Fuck it out. Right. I wasn't expecting that. Right then. So that's cleansing the energy. A new person. We're manifesting the new person. What do we need to do for that? Oh, the Queen of Pentacles. Now, this is you getting in touch with earthiness. And also interesting that this is connected with the clarifying card. So the Queen of Pentacles for me is similar energy to the Empress, but it's very nurturing, getting back to nature, looking after the earth around you, looking after the plant life, the animal life around you, generally kind of grounding yourself, getting back to that sort of that fingers in the dirt, that absolute feeling. I know this is like, you would expect this to be about the house, but no, this is about a person. So lots of work, because Pentacles is work, but somehow, if what you do, Kylie, is somehow related, like for a job, if that is somehow related with earthiness or the planet or looking after or anything with that nurturing element, then absolutely double down. But also, if you've got an interest in gardening, maybe look at an allotment. Maybe look at, you know, a gardening group, something that is going to, or volunteering with like Friends of the Earth or something, getting into a more nature-based element, a more nature-based hobby or a nature-based kind of group activity can help you to meet new people. And that may well be where this person comes from. So yeah, it's a very Earth Mother hippie type energy for me on this card. And then we've got, for the house, the Knight of Swords. Ooh, so how do you manifest this? Swords is trouble and strife. The Knight is the teenage rebellious energy. So this, for me, I think this is relating to you, my darling, right? So this is saying to you, how do you get the house? You need to overcome this element of you being your own worst enemy, right? There are going to be challenges. There are always going to be challenges, but you need to approach it a little bit differently. And it feels like sometimes this teenage energy can get in the way. So you need to basically approach things a little bit differently. And maybe, God, I've said this before, maybe be a bit more of a grown up, like a bit more adult about things and less in this teenage kind of reactionary. I think, right, okay, dragons, take it off. I think I just got a flash of a training course that I once did. So I think this is talking about responding, not reacting, right? When you get issues, respond, don't react. And this is going to help with the house, right? If you've got an eye on the house already, if there's somewhere particular that you're looking for, if you're putting bids in, this is saying to be responding to situations, don't react. So if somebody says, oh, that house isn't possible, or that house is never going to be available. Don't just take their word for it. Like, be in it for the long term. And whatever the issues come up when you're looking for this house, take time, step back, think about the actions that you want to do. So this isn't about, I know I mentioned stocks and shares on your other reading, Kylie, but this isn't about that. This isn't about like putting $500 on a race course or putting $500 on Microsoft stock. It's not about that. It's about doing things, thinking things through, and spending time weighing up the spending time. Sorry, I've just had OneDrive has just brought me up a message of a picture of a frog cake that Rufus once made 100 years ago for his nephew. Bizarre. Anyway, don't know why that popped up on this laptop, but anyway, so how you get the house is not to rush into issues and complications when they occur. Kind of take a step back, approach it with a mindful mind rather than reacting, and do it that way. Do it slowly, catchy monkey, as they say, or slowly, catchy tiger. And also think long term about this planting these seeds, right? Think long term. So don't go for quick fixes. Whatever this is, don't go for a short-term savings. Like, put it away. If you need to save money, put it away for, the highest possible. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Seek out financial advice, but put your money away somewhere where it's not going to be accessible by the night energy when you go, oh, I really need to go and buy XYZ, what you actually don't. And make it so that it's you proof. Do you know what I mean? So like we've got in the UK, we've got something called an ISA where you can put it away for so many years and you can't touch it. It's that sort of thing. It's like, even if you say, oh, I really want to spend it, I can put the money back next week. Don't. And I hope that helps. But yeah, absolutely. What energy do you need? What do you need to clear? Him. the cards could not be more determined to tell you that, could they? They could not be more determined. They absolutely are saying get shod. So yeah, and you're trying to learn to save your money. Oh my god. Oh, the cards like you, Kylie. The dragons have really tuned in with you tonight. Oh my gosh. Oh, well, you got 2 readings, both of which had 4 cards. So there you are, my darling. I hope that helps. That is going to be the last reading for tonight, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. Don't forget, there's ways that you can have a reading before Tuesday when I'm back on the live stream, and ways that you can get yourself a reading is over here at buymeacoffee.com/Beyond Authentic, or you can go across to my website, which is beyondauthentic.co.uk, and then that will link you both to the Fiverr one and also to the Beyond Authentic. And don't forget, if you would like to support me in the channel a little bit more, you can go ahead and sign up for membership for just £5. It works out at $6 US. I think it works out at $8 Australian, because somebody was asking me about Australian. So yeah, that's kind of where we are. That's how you support myself in this channel. And thank you very much for those of you that are choosing to do it. But there we go, everyone. Thank you so much. I have really enjoyed this live stream. This is a brand new deck for me, and normally I like to ruminate and cogitate and contemplate on a deck before I use them, but I've had a really amazing time tonight doing them, and I can totally recommend the 5th Spirit Tarot deck by Charlie Claire Burgess, available from Hay House, which is fast becoming one of my favorite publishers of tarot, and this is available on the Amazon. So yeah, totally recommend it. But there you go. Thank you ever so much, everybody. Can we please, in the live, can we please put some heart loves, lots of green hearts for the mods, please, in the chat? And also, if you're here as part of the replay crew, go ahead and fill the chat with green hearts for thanks for the mods, because they have done an amazing job. So thank you for that. And yeah, have an amazing rest of your night, witches. As Tammy Moody says, I'm ignoring what you put, Ed. I'm ignoring what you put. We are closing this now. Thank you, everybody. You've all been absolutely amazing. Much, much love, as always, to my amazing mod squad. I could not do this without the mods. Literally could not function without the mods here every week. So yeah, thank you so much. And that is it. As always, we'll be back next Tuesday, 7 p.m. UK time, and there should be a video coming up next week, a brand new special edition podcast episode where we introduce you to Neil's other sister. So if you want to know all about chaos magic from somebody who has gone down a lot of very, very interesting paths, then yeah, absolutely stay tuned for when that releases. But there we go. That's it tonight, everybody. Thank you to Patricia. Thank you to Neil. Thank you to Ed. And thank you to Holland. My mods have been, they're just amazing. All of them. All of them. Thank you to the mods. And I will see you all very soon. And yeah, thank you. And that's that. Right. What do I do now? I have to click a button, don't I? Thank you, everyone. We'll be back next Tuesday. And as I always say, stay you. Stay true, stay authentic, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Much love to you. Awkward wave. Awkward wave.